and welcome back to the second series of Rendezvous with me, your host, Jyoti Sindher. Now, for those of you who haven't had a chance to catch the show, we discuss taboo and general subjects affecting Asian society. We welcome your thoughts or views via email or tweet me on @GurjotSindher or the team at @BritAsiaTV. Now, today we're focusing on something that affects almost all of us, weddings. So, what is the budget for such perfection? Well, 24% of British Asians opt for a lower price range of £20,000 to £30,000, while an impressive 22% are willing to spend between £50,000 and £75,000. Now, I'm joined by Navida, a makeup artist, and Zaid, a wedding planner, and they're going to discuss their views on the rising cost of Asian weddings. Thank you both for joining me today.
You're welcome. Hi.
You're welcome. Hi.
Thank you for being on the show. Now, obviously, we're discussing the rise in cost of Asian weddings. Navida, you're a makeup artist, and you've had probably a lot of experience amongst weddings and functions. Now, what do you think? Is it right or is it wrong to spend such an amount, between £20,000 to £75,000, on an Asian wedding?
I think it's quite a big amount, especially when a lot of the weddings don't even, see through. There's a lot of breakup, a lot of divorces, and then in hindsight, people are like, why did we spend so much?
Yeah.
And on the second time round, they make sure they only spend on what's important for them, which is a makeup artist, definitely. You've got to look good always. I always say the bride, for her budget, should be her photographer and a makeup artist. I think for the parents, it's always about the food.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is like how everything looks, obviously, because it's about
Looking at the wedding planner here.
Absolutely, it was work of art, but that's for a bride as well. So it's really important that a bride does look good. But I think it is a big amount of money to spend, and I sometimes go to brides' houses, and they don't have any money, like they're very short on cash, yet they're spending so much money on a wedding. And I think it's a lot of pressure from family, from friends, and from someone else's wedding they've just been to.
Yeah.
So they can't do something really small. They've got to sort of like either match it or make it bigger. And I think that's what's happening nowadays.
Do you think there's a trend with these weddings? Obviously, everyone sort of wants to outdo each other. It has to be bigger, it has to be better, there has to be more people.
Oh, absolutely. We're getting acrobats at weddings now.
Wow.
We're getting, firefighters, flamethrowers and everything. So much is going on in weddings now. You go away with, I remember there was a wedding not so long ago, and they were going around giving gifts to all their guests. And I'm like, surely, don't the guests give presents to the bride and groom?
Yeah.
But it's all those little things that add up. It's all those small things that people don't actually account for, because people think, okay, we've got the venue, we've got the food, we've got the photographer and the video guy. And then after that, they forget the favours, the makeup artist, how everything's going to look, all the tables, the flowers.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of money that they don't actually account for. But once the ball is rolling, they just end up spending more and more. More,
because everything, all these little additions. And we have to admit that Asian weddings are far different to English ones. We have the pre-wedding activities, sort of the mehndi, the lady sangeet. But is it really necessary for people to overspend on these occasions? Zaid, what do you think?
I'll be honest with you, I think it varies really, but these are things they have to do it. It's like the
do
must.
They though? Do they have to do it? They
don't have to do it. It's a must thing. It's like I said before, a couple of years ago, it was just like a wedding before. That's it. Now there's engagements.
Yeah.
There's nikahs, the wedding ceremonies. Then there's mehndi ceremony. Now there's a bridal for 2-3 days special event where just brides get their bridesmaid friends together. That's another event. So it's amazing how much is getting worse and worse every year. Which is better for me, really. Obviously, it's a bit more money for me, really. But I think they don't need to really do all this, really.
Yeah.
As far as, I always say to my clients, listen, the main thing is it's your main day. Spend what you can do on that day and save some money for, for a house or something. That's the main important thing.
Honeymoon.
Honeymoon or anything,
honeymoon.
Could be true.
Instead of going to Devon, go somewhere nice.
No, it's true, it is. Yeah. And it's true what Navina says, is people actually there, they haven't got much money really. You saw on credit cards and they go way past the budget. And then afterwards, they struggle.
You have these shows like Don't Tell the Bride that comes on TV, which is, I think it's more tailored towards English weddings. But,
That's right.
you know, they have a budget. They have £12,000 where they have to do everything, the rings, the outfits, that's a bride's dress, a bridesmaid, the shoes, the makeup, the photography, everything. And if they can do it within 12 grand.
Why can't we?
Exactly.
I mean, we can, but it's just, as she said before, it's all about show. So about this person doing it better, we want to do better.
Do you find that more people within your sort of experience are going for the bigger, the better? We have to invite X amount of people. We have to have the best of the best.
That, I'll be honest with you, there has been drastic changes since 5 years. 5 years ago, there should be like, on a typical wedding, about 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest with you,
it's a normal wedding.
Yeah, as you said before now, I'll be honest with you, it's because the youngsters are getting involved.
Yeah.
Say, hang on, why are we calling all these people we don't even know?
Yeah.
Like, so why don't we just call the people that we know, family, friends, have a nice, good event, plan it out, just nice, relaxed day, no like rushing around, everything. So just have a small function. I'll be honest, now people are doing about 400 or 500 people, just one day, that's it.
Even that's big.
Even that's big. But I mean, it's like smallest function we've done is about 200 people.
Yeah.
Which again, people are more also regarding the like wedding venues. A lot of people are hiring hotels now.
Yeah.
Because venues are beyond
very pricey.
Yeah, it is, and the hotels are getting clever now too. You see, they know the Asian market is the big market, so why not do the same price-wise with normal venues?
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to do. You see, and we do a lot of weddings in hotels now. The normal like even venues.
And when you first started, the first ever wedding that you did, or the least budget wedding that you did?
It was amazing. You know, first time I had a phone call, and I thought, my phone's ringing, I picked the phone up, answered it, and they go, we're getting married certain time, a date. So we says, fine. So they go, what do you want? They go, look, what you can offer us. I go, look, it varies. Because them days, to be honest with you, it's just a chair, a bride and groom chair, and that's it. This is about 16 years ago. So that's how long I've been established for.
Yeah.
And they go, fine, that'll do for us. And we only charge them about £50 or £100 for 2 chairs. But it's so exciting, you know, I mean, like getting up there.
Overpriced for 2 chairs?
Yeah, but just them days, I'll be honest with you, just like, it's a lot of money was. And so you should go out there, set it up for them, 4 hours, come back and pick it up again.
Yeah.
Compare that to now, it's completely different.
What about you, Navida, about your wedding? What was that like?
Oh my God, my wedding was my wedding was big. In the sense that it was the first time, I've been married now, oh my God, near enough, 25 years this year actually.
Wow.
And then marquees weren't big, but we had a marquee. My husband come on a horse those many years ago.
Oh.
We had a band budger. We had a magic show. Oh my God, see, I'm talking about all the things that everyone else done. We had...
Was that here in the UK
this
though?
was here in the UK. My mum wanted a wedding that could be done. They have abroad.
Yeah.
So we had like fresh fruit cart. We had about 10 different main dishes.
Wow.
So we had a very big wedding to the point where people were coming to my wedding and they were ringing up their friends and saying, "Oh my God, this wedding's really good. Come over." And we had a load of gate crashers. So it was big for those days, and it sort of like set a benchmark for the rest of my sisters to get married.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, my parents were at that position where they could then do it. In hindsight, I look back, I love my wedding, I've got to say. Yeah, I could have done with that money and put a deposit on a house, but I did love my wedding, to be quite honest. And I think that's the problem. Well, it's not a problem. That's what a lot of brides think. Is there one big day? It's really important. They want to look stunning. They want to have everything they dreamed of. They want to be Cinderella. And why not give it to them? I think, but the problem is a lot of people don't know how to budget well.
Yeah.
You can do a really good wedding in a certain amount rather than going an extra mile. What gets me is that when someone gets a school hall, they do it all up really nice, and then you go to a really expensive venue that you had to pay 20,000 just for the venue, and then they do the same decor, and it looks the same. And I think things like that, you can make a smaller place or something not so prestigious look grand, and it's about what you do with your money. And I think that's what people have to realise, that you don't need a grand place to do your wedding and then spend loads more, because once you go inside, everything looks the same. It's the same.
What have you seen? I mean, over the years that you've been a makeup artist, what have you seen in terms of what's changed into the bride's demands, perhaps, or the groom's?
Yeah, no, totally. I've seen everyone wants to be better than what someone else's wedding was. You have some people that are quite content with how they look and
Yeah.
how, you know, what they've bought and how they've done their wedding. I've done brides that have had a very small wedding from 100 to 150 people to brides that have had 1,000 to 2,000 weddings, you know, people at their wedding.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, I think it's what you do and how the bride feels. Nowadays, there's a lot of competition, and I think that's really stressful, especially with social media,
Yeah.
with people going to weddings, and they've got it's everyone's trying to think of something new and something different, and something new always costs more.
Yeah.
And I think it is about outdoing. Some people want to do it; they've got the budget, and I think, okay, if you've got the budget, that's fair enough. But if you haven't got the budget, you can still make a 10 grand wedding look like a 30 grand wedding. It's how you budget
Yeah,
it.
that's true, that's true.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I've done it when I've had parties. People have come, you know, and they thought, oh my God, she must have spent about 20,000 at this party. And I hadn't. I had done it all in 5,000. But it's how you make something look. And I think that's really important.
And what have you seen in terms of what the least expensive is to the most expensive?
Least
in your
expensive is probably the bride's shoes. If she goes to June, I think that would probably be the least expensive. Everything.
Not even the wedding itself, not anything part of the wedding, just the shoes.
Just the shoes. I mean, even the favours. The favours are like, what, £300-400?
Do you see that happening a lot? A lot of people have favours now.
Yeah, see, what annoys me is that I have brides and they go, oh, they ring up and it's like, oh, you're out my budget. And I'm like, okay, you're spending thousands on your wedding. You're the most important person that day and you've given yourself a budget. For me, I think a bride, her makeup artist and a photographer are the most important people because once everyone's come, eaten and they've gone home, all you've got left is those photographs to remind you. It's those memories. When I go to a wedding, if I've seen favour boxes and there'll be lovely favours, I'm not taking them home because I've got to put them in the bin. I'll eat and I'll chuck it there.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's probably the biggest waste of money. No one takes those favours home. Everyone just opens up the box, see if it's worth eating.
If it's worth...
Oh, God, another almond, put it down kind of thing. And it's not
There's one piece of mithai.
Yeah. I had someone there had all these Godiva chocolates. It's like, OK, let's get that favour box as well and just eat it. But it's thrown away.
Yeah.
You know, as long as your centrepiece looks beautiful, it doesn't.
Do you think it's
have
important to have a centrepiece as well?
No, not always, because they have the
See, it depends.
food.
Now,
So that's the wedding planner.
Yeah. Nowadays, to be honest, people have like just lazy Susans in the middle. They just have crystal ones.
Yep.
So it's the main thing is depending where you want really. What I always say to my client, look, don't go for something big, because the main thing you want when the food comes out, you haven't got space for all these big things. So have a small average item. That's why it looks something there for you.
But don't you always have sort of the bottles of Coke and lemonade and Barney and water
spoiling.
that's there anyways? Is that not then the centrepiece?
Yeah, but the thing is, nowadays, like, forget bottles, they do jugs now.
Yeah,
That's true. Go for jugs now, just to make you look, that's again extra cost. I mean, there's no need to really, but people do it. It's like now, I've seen a function about 2 months ago, actually from Sangeet night, a person coming in a rickshaw.
it's lovely.
Normally, just walk in.
Yeah.
The groom just walks. This is actually a groom, not a bride.
Oh,
a groom actually comes in a rickshaw into the hall.
Wow.
Do you know what? I know someone that on their wedding, they spent loads of money on the wedding. They spent near enough £15,000 on cars.
Yeah.
Just to drive up for the video. And then the car just sits there throughout the whole wedding and then you drive off. I don't get that.
I don't understand that.
I don't understand that. I go down to some weddings and all I can see is the poor little boys that have suddenly got, you know, the 21, 22, and they've got the keys to, you know, a fast car, and there's just zooming up and down the street. It's like, let's make use of this car. So to me, I think that's a ridiculous expense.
Yeah.
No, this is a waste of money, to be honest with you. That's complete waste of money because I've come across a lot of weddings and they actually live in normal working class people. They've got a normal community hall for a wedding, to be honest with you, but outside you parked about 10, 15 posh cars, like really performance cars, and you think, what's the cars got to do with the venue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't understand how people think about these things.
The worst thing is, all the guests know they don't own the cars.
Yeah, they don't, yeah. So what's the use,
what's the point? So, I mean,
it's just for show, really, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
This is it. It's all for show. So cars, I think, is a waste of money. I think get one car for the bride to come in. I think that's important.
That's the main one. Yeah,
that's the main. Even the groom, I'm so sorry for you, men, but the grooms just aren't important anymore.
We're not. We're not. I'm telling you, we're not.
It's not. It's all about the bride.
Like we had a,
well, you heard it from a wedding planner.
Like,
don't waste money on cars. We're just going to go to a quick break, grab a cup of tea, tweet us your views, and I'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Rendezvous. Today we're discussing the rise of cost for Asian weddings. Now, guys, do you feel all eyes are on the bride and, you know, she's going to be seen for any sort of fashion faux pas? You know, she has to have an outfit change or she has to look glamorous, as does the groom, you know, sherwani in the morning and then maybe a suit for the evening. Do you feel that that is happening more and more nowadays?
Oh, absolutely. It's all about what the bride's wearing, how she's looking, what her hair and makeup's like. Before it used to be, oh, Bajadi, look, she looks nice. Now it's about, oh my God, look at that outfit. Oh, look at the bling. Or oh my God, what the hell is she wearing? It's, I think there's a lot more pressure on a bride, what to wear and how to put things together. It's really important. I think, and all eyes are on the bride and groom.
And plus the groom too now. I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of designer men outlets there now. And there's a lot of clothes out there for design.
Oh my God, the men are more divas than the women at times,
And they're a lot more picky, I think, now too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I guess sort of Punjabi weddings, you know, they have to grow the beard and then they usually quickly shave, you know, most of it off, or they need a designer goatee or something going on.
No, it's true. I'll be honest, there's a lot of grooms now going out there for designer outfits. There's a lot of outlets in there, like in Birmingham, in London, everywhere now. And the clothes are, it says cost-wise, same cost as the bride groom.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. But even the grooms are having their makeup done now as well. I've done quite a lot of grooms for their makeup for their wedding day, because at the end of the day, there's the bride looking flawless, no dark circles, all her spots hidden. With the guys, you know, they come and they've got really puffy or dark circles. So a lot of them are having their makeup done now. So I do
I mean,
quite a lot.
10, 15 years ago, that would not have happened.
That would happen, true.
Oh no, you still get some of the guys nowadays. Oh no, I'm not wearing no makeup. So really, no, I'm a man.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, as a makeup artist, the makeup I do for a groom is totally different than what I would do for a bride. I wouldn't put the full work on anyway. But there's certain things you use, and people don't actually notice that the groom's got makeup on.
Yeah.
So you know, it's the way you do it. That's what experience teaches you.
And what about sort of, you know, all the events leading up to the wedding? Have you been involved in a family where you've done every single event, from the mehndi to the ladies' to the, you know, engagement and the wedding and the reception? Or been on hand at a wedding, you know, to touch up? Or
well, it's very rare that they'll want you to stay, because the makeup, when I do the makeup, it lasts all night. I tell them what to keep in their bag so they can just touch up. They don't really need me to be there all day, and a lot of people will have the budget to pay for me to be there all day either, because that's a budget that they don't really need, to be quite honest. As long as they've had their makeup done initially, it will last all day, so it's not a problem. But I've done brides where I've done all their events, and they've come around and we've sat down with their clothes to decide on what looks that we want to go for. I mean, it varies nowadays. Some people will go with you for the main day and then have someone else for, you know, one of the other days. But a lot of people still stick to having the same makeup artist.
Do you not think that essentially it's sort of maybe not a waste of money because it's your wedding, but maybe an extra expense of having it on every single event that leads up to the wedding, rather than just having it for the wedding and reception?
Okay.
She would have said no to that, would she? She would have said no to that.
Hold on, Zahid. And I'll tell you why. I done this bride, and I done it on the wedding day, and she couldn't get me on her civil. And when I went to do her makeup, she kept on going on about how bad she looked on her civil, and she had actually hidden the album under the bed. And she never takes it out to show anyone. And I'm like, it can't be that bad. Let me have a look. But the makeup was that bad, and she looked awful. She really did. And for her, such a like an important day, devastated. She can never look back at her pictures with, you know, oh wow, I look stunning.
Yeah.
It's under the bed, not looking nice. And a lot of brides have done that. They're like, oh my God, I wish I had had you on on my mehndi, or wish I had you on the other day because, you know, the makeup wasn't so nice. At the end of the day, it is memories. Your children are going to look at these pictures. The first thing when someone comes and sees the bride and groom after the wedding is get the album out. Yeah, get the video out. And so it's all about how they look. And, you know, we look at all these magazines and we see all these beautiful photo shots, you know, all these photo shoots. The brides want to be those models for that day.
True.
And that's what the albums are about. That's what, you know, the whole, even with the photographers, Vijay, they have to be sort of like, you know, fashion photographers now.
That's true, they are.
Yeah, because they want them
Natural shots.
Yeah, there's none of doing that anymore.
That's true, that's true.
There isn't. It's all the sort of like that kind of thing and whatever.
So
Did you have that in your wedding album?
Oh my God, I had it where my video, there's me in the middle and there was about 20 of me going around in circles. Yeah, oh my God, it was awful. Yeah, absolutely horrendous.
So what about the cost of venues, food, amount of guests? I mean, you know, a lot of companies are aware that Asian weddings are generally pretty big. Yeah. Do you think they take advantage of that? Do you think that they will increase price per head because they know, you know what, it's an Asian wedding, we know exactly what they're going to go for, let's charge them X amount, rather than another lot of people that would come in who they'd probably charge maybe £10, £15 cheaper?
You're right there, to be honest with you. I'll be honest, it's just quite shocking really, you won't believe it. People actually, when you hire companies, they actually look at how the way you come into the venue.
As in?
If you come in like a smart person with a posh car, they'll give you ridiculous prices.
Yeah.
It is sad, to be honest, that people actually do that.
Have you done weddings where it's in the exact same venue with the exact same caterers but completely different price?
I'll give you a perfect example. I won't mention no names,
Yeah.
but it's like we've done a wedding in 2 venues, the same venues, for 500 people, for one person paid for everything, including obviously decor, food, the caterer, the chair covers, everything, catering services. They paid for the venue £18,000.
Okay, wow.
Okay, same time, it was similar, like, forget dates, it was a weekend wedding, okay? Weekend wedding, about a couple of months later, right, with the same piece, about 550 was, for £7,500.
Wow, that's a huge
It's a huge
amount.
difference. You'll be shocked, really. And that's why, I'll be honest with you, it's like, as I said, people look at how you go into the venue.
So you think that because these individuals sort of went to the venue in a nice car or dressed smartly,
it could be that, or it depends how
overcharged?
you actually barter with people too.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't barter with anybody. Someone goes to me, this is the price, I'll pay for it. Where people out there will come to us and they will actually barter to the bottom prices. So now if I go somewhere, I know I get ripped off.
Yeah.
But if somebody else goes, like my brother, he'll get half the price.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. But that's how it is. But it's not fair, really.
Negotiations.
Yeah, it's not fair, really, to be honest with you.
No, with me it's different though. My price is set. I don't care if you're coming up in a Porsche or if you're coming up in a Ford Fiesta. My prices are the same. So I don't.
Well, if they're going to you, you know that obviously they should be able to afford you anyway. So
but then it's not even for the English market. I've done English brides, I've done black brides as well. So I've charged them exactly the same amount of money that I would charge my Asian brides. So I don't look at someone and think, oh, okay, they've got money, let me put the price up. I think my reputation is that I'm fair across the board and I want to keep it that way. So I don't, and I don't barter for, well, I know, it's terrible. I'll barter with everyone, but I don't
See, I'll be honest with you, it's the best way to do it really is there's so many competition out there now, okay? So many different companies out there. But the way I say, if you stick with your prices, okay, as long as you come to a reasonable agreement, that's perfect.
It's a service though as well, isn't it?
Speaking of services, I mean, with your services, what would you say, I mean, being a wedding planner, what are the advantages and disadvantages, you probably would say there's none, but of having a wedding planner?
The advantage is that obviously
less stressful for the bride.
Less stress for the bride. Okay, that's one thing.
So you had to have help there.
Had to.
An advantage on wedding planning.
I'm just thinking of advantages. I'll be honest with you, sometimes it does help a lot because obviously you're leaving everything to the wedding planner. So you just make a phone call, you just sit back and relax. The wedding planner does everything for you. I mean, but there are planners out there who will say they'll do everything for you, but they don't. I'll be honest with you. They just take the money and they won't provide the service to you. So
how do people know that come to you that, you know, it will be done as they've asked? Because, you know,
Yeah.
come
No,
wedding
it's
day,
true.
they can't really do
No,
much.
it's true. I'll be honest with you, again, it's all a matter of how long you've been in the business for, and
Yeah.
it's word of mouth. Word of mouth is the best way to advertise.
Reputation, yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I mean, it's like, it's like if I said to you, by the Jyoti, use this company here, then you go to another place, they say the same thing to you, you'll think, hang on, there's something must be good about
Yeah.
this company. And that's what happens to, I'm not actually saying about myself, but that happens to us, you see. People come to us, sit with us, go through everything with us, get prices, and then go away.
Yeah.
Then a week later, they ring me, they come back again, they go, Zai, listen, we went to this person, they go to you, they went to this person,
Yeah.
they go to you, so
Yeah.
there must be something good about you. And it's not a matter of, again, we're not very expensive, to be honest, compared to other companies.
So what do you charge in terms of the lowest amount that you would charge, and for what type of service? I mean, how do you cater for those who are on a budget?
See, I'll be honest, what we do, we always try to ask the customer what's the budget is first, okay? And then obviously, whatever the budget is, if you can do for them, we'll do for them. If you can't, then I do recommend other people too, I'll be honest with you. I don't just stay with just me.
Yeah.
Because if I can't help you, then I'll say, look, I'm sorry, I can't help you at all. They are the people who can help you in this price range.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair really just to get someone to say, look, sorry, just go somewhere out there, you know what I mean? But our budget, it is quite competitive, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But compared to other companies. But there are companies out there who charge a lot more money for what they
Yeah.
offer, really.
I mean, Navida, as a makeup artist, what's the sort of lowest that you would go for, and how do you work with people with a budget?
Well, I say to them that they can pay off. You know, because normally if they book, 6 months to a year in advance, and you know they can't afford to pay in one go, they can pay off beforehand in small
Yeah.
amounts. So I do offer that, option as well. They don't have to pay everything, first off. They have to pay a deposit, obviously, to secure the day,
Yeah.
and then they can do it they can pay off little by little. They can pay by a credit card, debit card, so that helps them, because a lot of people in our industry deal in cash a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so they can pay on their credit card and then pay off their credit card slowly
Yeah.
afterwards. So they have that option as well. I sit down and I talk to them and I
Yeah.
say that, look, this is important. If they're booking quite a few days with me, then obviously,
You can do
I
something.
can do something about the price. If it's just a one day, then it's just completely fixed. But we do offer, for people, if they want to do it bit by bit payoff, then they can do. But then I sit down and, I talk to them and say, look, instead of spending £300 on favours, don't, spend
Yeah.
it towards the makeup. Another thing a few people have done, I've had these 4 friends, and whenever one gets married, the other 3 pay as their
Gift.
present, as a gift.
See, that's
So
really
I
good.
say to bride as well, because when they come to me and they say, oh, Navida, that's a bit high for me, and I'm like, okay, if you've got really good friends and they want to know what to buy as a present, get them to buy
I like
vouchers.
that idea, yeah.
Buy vouchers
No, it is.
for me. And I think that's what people should do now. It's always like a no-no to have a guest, what's that?
Invitation?
Yeah, no, the present, the gift list. That's
Oh,
it.
right, yeah.
But I think if they'd done a gift list and say, well, would you like to pay towards the chocolate fountain? Would you like to pay towards the makeup
Yeah,
artist?
true, yeah.
And
That's
I
a good
think
idea.
that's what people should do now. And we can all offer, I do vouchers as well. So if people wanted to pay towards the bride's makeup,
Yeah.
and which I've had people do that they've wanted to pay towards their friend's makeup, they will then pay towards it. So it's not that burden on the bride. And I think, what the worst thing is really bad, is that someone comes to your wedding, you're paying like about £50 overall per head, yeah? They have the cheek that 4 of them have turned up and given you £21.
Yeah.
I just find that so insulting.
So for people who
Yeah.
want to contact you and get their makeup done,
Yeah.
what contact details would you give them?
Okay, you can visit my website, www.navida.com. On there, it's got my salon, my phone number that you can contact me. I also work for the magazine, Asiana, so my contact details are in there as well.
Nice. And Zaid, if someone wants to plan a
Yeah.
wedding?
You can contact me on 07968 790 250. You can go on the website, which is www.hamsafarweddingservices.co.uk. I'm always on Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, so am I actually.
Brilliant.
I'm on Facebook and
Unfortunately-
Twitter.
Unfortunately, that is all that we have time for. Keep tweeting your views to @Jyoti Sindher and @BritAsia TV. You'll see it at the bottom of the screen. And join me next week. We'll have a little rendezvous, same time, same place. Thank you to my guests, and bye for now.